Hello, Year 3. It's Mrs. Smith here for your science lesson this week. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of February. For science this week, we're going to be looking at this objective. Can I sort and order food into different food groups? So our first question to think about, and you might like to pause the video for a moment and have a think, what is a balanced diet? Balanced diet is a diet of the food that we eat, that we're having everything in moderation and in a balanced way. We're not eating too much of one type of food and not enough of another type of food. So we're going to look now at what types of food we should be having in our diet. We're going to use the Eat Well guide. This is a pie chart in front of us, but actually if we look at it like a plate, so the big round circle in the middle here is the plate, and this is the daily food we should have for one day. The amounts we should have, not the actual items inside the pictures. They're just examples. So when we have a look at the yellow here, this is how much of our diet of the day we should be having, which are the things like the potatoes, the bread, the rice. Then we have over this side, about the same amount should be in our fruit and vegetables. We can see our cucumber, our bananas, our apples, our broccoli. And then you have the remaining part of the plate or the pie chart showing the other types of foods and how much we should have of those. This pinky purpley one is the fish, the eggs and the meat. The blue here is the dairy, so that's the milk and the butter and the cheese and the yogurt. And the darker purple here is the oil and the spread, so if we're having spread rather than using butter. Over here on the outside then, it talks about what we should be eating less often. These often are things that we actually like if we have a bit of a sweet tooth. So the things we should have is small amounts of are the crisps, the chocolate, the biscuits. Over the top corner here talks about the water. So water is also part of our balanced diet. We should have 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. It talks about limiting food juice and smoothies, and again that's to do with the sugar content. Otherwise the sugar content will then not be giving us the balanced diet that we need for the day. Over in the left hand corner here, then on packaging of foods, you often have the information that tells us how much fat and sugars and salt are in the food you're going to be eating. And that can be used to give us a guide as well, whether we're eating too much of one type of food and not enough of another type of food. Right, so we'll come back to that pie chart again, or the plate again. Let's look at each part in individual sections then. So the yellow section was the carbohydrates. Can you have a look at the yellow section? What foods out of here do you tend to eat each day? So it's our breads, our pasta, our rice, our potatoes, breakfast cereal. Okay. Then over to this side, again, this is the other main food group that we should be eating, the fruit and vegetables. Which of these do you like to eat out of the green section? And it talks about having the 5 a day, doesn't it? Eating 5 portions of fruit and vegetables every day. It is scientific thinking now, it should be 7 types. But I think it's about getting the balance right, isn't it? And having the quantity correct to the Eat Well plate. Did you find different vegetables and fruits that you like to eat? Maybe you can name one that's not on here. This is just an example of what's in this food group. There could be other examples not on here. For example, I can't see at the moment any raspberries. I like raspberries. They should be on there. Like I said, these are just examples. They're not every single food in this group. Then you had the pinky purple ones, which we talked about, which is fish and the eggs. Maybe you can see a little bit better in the pictures now. Nuts, tuna, beans, lentils. How often do you have those foods? And then the dairy for the blue. You can see that better now, the items inside that one. The advice is to choose lower fat and lower sugar options. And this extremely slither of the plate then is for the oil and the spreads, and choosing unsaturated oils, using in small amounts. Okay, so we come back to our Eat Well plate here then, and you can now see they're all combined together. Again, look at the proportions. Look at how much of it should be from our carbohydrates through the day, which I'm sure we probably do with thinking about our sandwich we have for lunch and our dinner we have, and the proportion of the fruit and vegetables is about the same amount, isn't it? It's about the same size. Okay, let's have a look at a meal. Right, having a look at this plate of food here, what food groups can you identify in this plate of food? So I've got a sausage pasta meal in front of us here. So can we go through and look at what types of food are in there? Let's go back to the plate. Let's pick a food from the plate here and find it on the Eat Well plate. So sausages. Where would sausages be? Yes, sausages are a type of meat. They'd be in the meat section here. The pasta. Let's go and look for the pasta. Where would the pasta be? Okay, it says it already, doesn't it? It says pasta here. Pasta is a carbohydrate. It's in the yellow section. So I've got something from the pinky section here and something from the yellow section here. What else is on the plate? Tomatoes. Let's find tomatoes. Yes, the tomatoes is in the fruit and vegetable section over here. So I've now got something from the pinky plate, part of the plate, the green vegetable and fruit part of the plate, and the yellow carbohydrates part of the plate. Broccoli. You can see broccoli in there, can't you? Let's have a look. Where would the broccoli come from? Which group? Yes, it's in the fruit and vegetables again, isn't it? Okay. Now, if we have a think about it though, probably to make that pasta, you probably would have used some oil, or if they had some sort of sauce to it, you might have put some milk into it to make it the milky sauce, a part of it. So you probably would have most of these types of food groups in this meal, or have used them to create the meal. We're going to use these ideas now to do your task. Your task then is to create your own Eat Well plate here. On your sheet you have got the circle drawn out for you. Can you fill in some examples of each of the foods? And then labelling each section of the plate with these 6 sections down here. You can always go back to the video again and have a look at the information on this video, or I've also given you the Eat Well plate as a document as well. Extension task, you can look at these lists of foods and write them all in the correct place. So you might have drawn some examples of your own. You can add in these words in the correct place on the plate. To simplify it today, we have got some pictures for you to use to stick in the right places. When you've done that and you've sorted and ordered the foods into the correct food groups, you're going to use this knowledge to design a healthy, balanced meal for your dinner. So it's about using the ideas we've gained by doing this task and the information from the Eat Well plate to then design your balanced, healthy meal. And after those tasks, the final thought would be, why is being healthy important? Thank you, Year 3.